Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan Nair. Here, basically, we are going to talk about the formula industry. Basically, this has generated to one industry. Basically, you can say. So, formula word itself basically generated to one industry. So, here basically we are discussing about the formulas of the software industry, which has generated from the Bollywood industry. So, Bollywood industry is telling that software industry is created by us on the base of certain movies, on the base of certain user stories, on the base of certain tasks, on this base of certain epics. So like this, we are discussing about the balance sheets that are basically the attributes of each and every software industry. So each and every formulas basically you can say which is inside the software industry. So formulas are basically equal to attributes. So on the base of attributes only this formula gets generates. Other than basically there is no other option to generate the formulas because the mathematics rule says that something you need to do the formulas, that is basically the mathematics rules which is created by certain groups. So here basically we are not discussing about the mathematics rules, that why mathematics rules has created like that. Here basically we are discussing about the formulas, uh, which has plus minus subtraction, then division is there. Like this basically the formulas are getting generated, and formulas are basically connected with the attributes, and attributes are equal to hundreds of balance sheets. This basically I always discuss in each and every topic, each and every formula parts, because each and every things are connected with this one thing, that is basically the balance sheets of attributes. And this mostly basically has created by the PMI industry, that is basically in the Pune. They have created this each and every formulas. They have the hundreds of balance sheet. That's why basically the software industry is growing. That's why the Microsoft is earning in n numbers of money. That's why basically Amazon is earning n numbers of money. That's why Oracle is earning. That's why SAP is earning, Salesforce is earning. Each and every basically companies are directly earning. So you can just imagine if the big companies are running, then by default basically the small companies are going to earn by default, because each and every software small companies owners are directly doing the job inside the big companies that are basically the Microsoft, Salesforce, or they are basically connected with the certain people basically. And on the base of that connected people, basically they are getting the projects basically. You can say, for example, there is one person who is a friend of one of the Microsoft person. So on the base of that, so Microsoft is connected here in this small company because he is connected with his friend. So like this, the Microsoft friend is giving the project to that particular person because he is his friend. But indirectly, basically, what is happening? This person is directly connecting to the software company. So each and every software company in this world basically are connected with the big companies. Without big company, there is no software company which is created in this world. So this always you have to keep in this mind. So here basically the point are basically software industry. What actually the software industry is. I will take one example basically. I basically got one call from, I was basically into software department. I got one call from the one lady, and she told that she was actually ladies. Yeah, she was one some I think she was girl, and she called me and told that actually my loan got rejected. I had given the application of the loan, and that got rejected. So can you please help me out? Then basically I basically explained her that if loan has rejected, that means your the system basically on which basically your loan has been processing and has processed, that has rejected your loan. Why? Because your attribute which you are passing to the system, that is not matching. That is by default. In simple language basically you can say, for example, you are earning less than 6 lakhs, between 5 to 6 lakhs. Just taking as an example, just taking as an example. So 5 to 6 lakh was the earning income. So 5 to 6 lakh. I'm not talking about crore. So it's a 5 to 6 lakh rupees. So like this, basically, this attribute was getting filled. So the loan requirement basically which she has applied, that uh, says that you should have between the 10 to 12 lakh salary. So salary is supposed to be 10 to 12 lakh. Each and every condition was matching, but this condition was not matching in the formula basically of the loan approval system. Basically, you can say it's a loan approval system only. Basically, you can say where set of parameters are getting processed, and on the base of parameter, the data are passing, and the data are telling that this loan will be approved and this loan can't be approved. So there is only two result, that is approved and reject. So like this, basically, she told that she actually asked me that loan is getting. So I basically explained that because I know the each and every system. So I told that lady, that girl, basically, uh, the 5 to 6 lakh was the income. 5 to 6 lakh. I'm not talking about crore. So 5 to 6 lakh rupees basically was the income of that girl. So that was the reason basically. So she told that there is no other option. Then basically I told I had given one example. Each and every parameters basically which is given, that is basically given by the set of bank directors and bank managers, right? So they have given the parameters. So on the base of that parameter, the system has rejected. So for that, basically, I basically given someone guidance to that girl that you can directly contact to the bank, and she told that she has written one mail that basically one of your executive basically of the loan process, the loan software department. He told that the system has rejected each and every system has approved each and every parameter. Just only the the salary account amount was basically not matching. That was basically the annual income was 5 to 6 lakh, but the requirement was 10 to 12 lakh, 10 to 12 lakh per annum. So this was the requirement, but that requirement was getting not matched. So he connected with the bank director, and bank director told that we basically I told to that girl that there are many system basically that basically is beyond the system also. Beyond the system means you can get the loan other than the computerized system also. Why? Because there are many things basically happening in this world other than computerized. Because computer system basically it's a set of parameter is given by the set of groups. If that parameter gets rejected, that means your system is going to your loan approval system is going to reject this. So loan approval system basically is going to reject your data. So I told her you can directly contact to the director or the bank manager. So she contacted to the bank manager, and she basically got little bit loan basically because he was connected with the directly with the system upper than system basically. He was basically giving the each and every data to the loan process software. So on the base of that, basically he have a approval, he have the authority, he have the power to approve or reject the loan because he have the certain conditions on the base of the loan can be approved reject. So he know each and every conditions on the basis of that the loan can be rejected and loan can be approved. So certain amount of loan was approved. So like that girl has got the loan, and she again called me and told that yeah, thank you basically. There is basically other than computerized system also in this world. So like this basically this is about the software industry. So in software industry, here basically what we are discussing. Here we are discussing that the software industry has created on the base of certain user stories, and the user stories are basically generated by the software by the Bollywood industry, and Bollywood industry is telling that we have created Bollywood software industry, and that are basically hundreds of big companies like Microsoft, SAP, Salesforce, C++, Python, PHP, and Java. So like this, we have created these all software companies, and on the base of certain conditions, because the human resource are getting over. Sorry, the natural resource are getting over. So basically, the alternative of natural resource basically you have to find. So one of the experts, basically of the professor, one of the Oxford expert professor told that uh, this can be any person. Basically, I'm just taking as an example. Assume that he's one of the professor of the any college, basically big college, because this type of ideas basically only big colleges can give, because they only have the authority and they only have the power, basically you can say, to give the ideas in the market, in the earth planet industry, earth planet market basically. So he told that software industry is the other alternative, and software energy, data can be converted into energies, and that energy must have the physical locations, and that physical location can generate the from the base of that software energies, the human needs can be created. So human needs are vegetables, petrols, oils, and fruits. Each and everything basically we are eating, we are consuming. Plastics are there, irons are there, steels are there, coppers are there, gold are there, diamonds are there. So each and everything basically we can generate from the software energy. So you can just imagine each and every data are basically connected with the physical location of the physical human, basically you can say, and the human basically energies are there. So on the base of that certain parameters, and on the base of that this all thing basically you can generate the human needs. So like this, the suggestion was given by the one of the professor of the any professor of the any college basically, and only big professor, only big colleges only can give this type of idea, because they only have the authority to give the ideas. So I'm not telling that the big companies basically, sorry, the big colleges people, sorry, the big colleges students basically only get the opportunity. I'm not telling this directly. In the, for example, if there is one person, he has not done the study in from the big college like Harvard, Oxford. So he basically was not getting the job in CEO post and vice president post. Then basically he asked one of the professor, one of his teacher, that then he explained that the big level post basically only gets from the big level colleges. Then basically he told that he have a good knowledge other than more than the Harvard and Oxford also. Then basically why he was not getting the opportunity. Then basically the he told that yeah, basically the lots of things are there, is that the systems are there. Systems says that he basically has spent lots of monies in the education. So just imagine basically the education is also has reached to this level, that if the education is one person is getting education from the big level college, then only basically he is going to get the big level opportunity. So education has converted into the business, basically you can say nowadays education has converted into the business. So each and every colleges are not doing the business, and I'm not pointing each and every colleges also, but most of basically the system is created like that. The, if you are taking the education from the big level colleges, then only you will get the big level opportunity. It's not, it has become like that, but it's not in the fully level basically. I have taken one example of this loan process system basically. That is the best example of the other than system, but systems are there basically, and each and every system basically you should know basically which type of system basically contains in this world. So but if you get into the system, then basically there is no limit of the entering into system, because there are crores of system basically created. uh, and I have taken few examples of the system also. What is system? I will take few words basically of related to this. For example, there was system has to be implemented in the certain city. So the each and every section number, section law number, and the books was created according to that, as according to that section. But that was not a final book. So the practical things happened according to the sections, law basically, and practical things happened in front of public also. And whatever things basically was supposed to generate according to that rules. Rules means equal to what? Rules equal to the things has to be happen 100%. So you have created these rules. This is basically internal high court and supreme court groups basically who creates the rules. So rules equal to the task has to happen 100% at any cost. This has to happen. That's all. This is the rules basically. The rule definition says this only. So the task has to happen. That's all. This is the rules. So like this, the practical things happened. So like this, according to the rules, basically each and every stuff was checked, and like this, the system was created, and the practical things was also corrected, and each and everything was checked. Few data was created. Just imagine basically how the systems are also getting created. Few data was created, and then basically the rules was passed, and then basically the books basically of these rules basically was created in the book law book industry, and then basically the vakils and judge basically got that books. So this was basically a little bit about the rules and regulation. What actually the rules and regulation here? Basically, we are not talking about that topic. Here, basically, we are talking. Here, basically, the rules and regulation is also connected. For example, Bollywood industry is telling that this is the Microsoft. So Microsoft has got some certain rules and regulation. So within that rules and regulation, only Microsoft has to work. That is 100% correct. So SAP also got certain rules and regulation and told that you have to work in this rules and regulation. That is basically computerized system. So each and everything basically has connected with the rules and regulation also by default, because system is basically equal to rules and regulation. So if you are in this, for example, your blood cells is also created on the basis of rules and regulation. That for example, if you eat too much of thing basically, extreme foods, extreme things basically, then basically that is going to harm your body. That is basically rules. Why? Because the object which is created for the your body, the object, for example, fruits are there. If you are eating too much of fruits, then basically it's going to harm your body. If you are eating too much of any basically anything basically, that is 100% going to harm your body. So too much consumption in your body of certain objects, that basically 100% is going to harm, because your body rules has created, your body has some certain rules and regulation. So according to that rules and regulation only you have to work, you have to stay, you have to eat. So like this basically the rules, this was about the rules and regulation. So Bollywood industry is telling that we have created each and every stuff, each and every object according to the rules and regulation. And rules and regulation are basically the boundary, the scope of the system, basically, you can say. For example, in project management plan, there is one document called scope, scope level document. So scope is about what actually? The scope is basically the boundary of the each and every system, basically. The system which the project manager is going to create on the base of certain developers. So that developers are basically is going to give some certain conditions. So that conditions are basically what? Boundaries that are basically scope. Within the scope basically you have to work. Otherwise basically the system will never get end. So you have to draw the boundary, and according to that only basically you are going to work. So here basically the Bollywood industry is telling that uh, we have created the software industry, and they might be they are basically 100% correct, because the set of user stories basically are generated, and on the base of certain user stories the companies are created, the software companies are created, and the certain company and the software companies basically generates the human needs, because their task is to create the human needs. So each and every software so this basically is one of the data science project basically, and this mostly might be created by someone, one of the Bollywood software company also, because this type of big project basically only Bollywood software industry, Bollywood connected group software company only can able to create. That is basically the um, uh, from each and every software company, how many human needs are created. So like this, basically we are stopping here, and this was basically the 151st part. In 152, we are going to discuss a little bit more about the Bollywood industry and the connected software industry, which is created by the soft Bollywood groups.